What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be comparing my no hose bar, expensive K-swap built versus a more budget friendly parts K-swap, and I'm gonna tell you that it's worth it to do a name brand parts and why it's worth it compared to a budget one. So let's talk. So starting out here, we have the EG, infamous EG. It started the channel. It's just been dormant laying in here, but soon I hope to take it back out and really relive the glory days with the car. We do have a K24 JDM RBB, then we have a K20 Z3 out of an 8 gen. This is roughly, when you buy it, they say is about 50 to 60,000 miles imported. That one right there, I think I got it for 100. It had 152,000 miles, so it's not new, and it has its miles as well. I believe it has an 08. This is an 06. All right, so engine wise, obviously K24s, you get them all day, every day, way cheaper than those ones. I wanted a K24, but then I opted for a K20 because I wanted to have the best of both worlds, a K24 experience, and then a K20 as well. All right, so starting from the front, we got a CSF radiator. This is a 2050K part number. This is actually meant for K-swap. I'm not sure if these are meant for EKs, but I know definitely Integras and EGs. This will fit perfectly. This is a dual quart, so you can see how thick and wide it is, and these are second to none. I believe PLM has a copy version as well. When I got this, about in the 400 ranges to 500. Obviously, it comes with interchangeable fittings here, so you can put ANs as well. Also has placements here if you're running different brackets, and see how the EG has this, but obviously it will fit on the Integra as well. So obviously you're paying for what you're getting. This is meant for a K-swap, and it's also meant for those interchangeable brackets at the bottom. That one right there is a budget one with shroud and everything, about 200 bucks. Shroud, I think it was like 60. I want to say 60. This is about 460. So obviously you do the math, but this doesn't allow you to run a secondary shroud, just a one side, half size shroud. That one allows you to run, because that's brackets, either a half size or a full size. Now I'm not sure if that will fit in this one, being that that's an RSX EP3 style, but it does fit on that one, so on the Integra. So if anybody has any doubts, it fits perfectly. And obviously the whole combo with shroud was $200. If you just get the actual radiator itself, $100. So yeah, but obviously this, you will not run into any issues. It'll work straight out of the box. That one, it could be questionable, but I mean, it's been doing its thing. Also, radiator hoses. Obviously, I got Hybrid Racing. It's just a piece of silicone rubber. So, you can't really go wrong. Those are budget. I think this was about 80 bucks or so. Those were like less than 40 bucks, I want to say, or 40 bucks. I don't know, something like that. But pay for what you got. Swivels are the same. These are just aftermarket V1 style, K-tune style ones. Here we have a chrome one, and it's been doing beautifully. Over there we have a black one, but it's the same thing. Budget as well in there. I didn't really buy anything expensive on that side. Obviously here we have a K-tune idle pulley, and we're not running that on the Integra. We actually have power steering. So this is an old version. They have newer versions now, and you can clock it or buy the correct one for a K20 or K24. It comes with the belt. Well, at least that's what it did before. I'm not sure about now. Yeah, you could also get budget ones as well, but no issues here. It's bearings, it's pretty good. It's been holding, no issues in there whatsoever. Also, so far, let's talk about the throttle body, because that's a big thing that I've noticed that is very, very different when it comes to aftermarket, cheap, and just name brand parts. So here we have a K-tune 70mm throttle body. I've had zero sticking issues, maybe a little bit, but it went away. And it was pretty much because of my cable, but we have a K20 throttle body with the adapter, because this style did not allow me to bolt it directly to it. And no issues, perfect. Got a Blocks Racing, which is considered to be in the mid affordable ranges because it's only 60 bucks, 50, 60 bucks. And so far it allowed me to calibrate it beautifully. For some reason I put a Blocks one on that one and it was bad. I'm not sure if it was just defective or maybe the throttle body, but questionable. Blocks is questionable. That's not a Hall effect as well. So throttle body, this one, no issues right off the bat. You have a K20 cooler intake. Obviously, this is a 2-stage. It goes underneath, but you're gonna have to delete the reservoir, which I didn't want to. So I just had it there for safety issues, so it won't hydroplane or anything. Over here, you can see that's a budget one. By budget, I mean it was cheap. It was less than 50 bucks, probably like 40, 30 bucks or so, maybe less than 40. And that's as far as it's gonna get me. So I mean, you can't complain. They have other options out there. I won't say they're cheap, but maybe about less than buying a K20 one. But yeah, it's a 3-inch as well. So this one, obviously no complaints, doing its thing. Throttle body is the only thing that's questionable with the budget one. You could get lucky, get something really good. So yeah, something that I'll say, questionable. The throttle body cable is an OEM Honda GSR one, and no issues at all. That is an Amazon one, I think like 13, less than 20 bucks. And I mean, it's questionable, but it's not sticking, so that's good. But they could stretch, versus this one, which is more tolerable to stretching. Fuel rail, obviously we got a K20 fuel rail. This was about 160 bucks or so, maybe 180 give or take. That one was like 60 bucks, less than 100. And they both are doing their thing. These are OEM Honda RDXs, you guys can see, and no questions in there. They're super expensive now. Those are aftermarket ones, but they've been holding in, not sure if the spray pattern or the flow is correct, but they didn't have any issues at the dyno, and the tuner told me everything was consistent. So that's good, and I guess it vouch. We have Hasport engine mounts here. These are dual heights, you guys can see, for K20 or K24 setting. Those are not, but they do have aftermarket cheap ones that are dual height. Just have to know how to find them pretty much. But this back then, these are about $480, a little bit more now, and this was about $120. So big difference in there, but you pay for what you get. You're both running Type S oil pumps on these. Obviously, I do not have a 50 degree on the K24, but I do. Obviously, K20 Z3 has them. And then obviously the clutch. It's a stage 3 clutch max with a light flywheel. Clutch, competition clutch. Stage 3 with a light flywheel. Clutch max with a heavy mule flywheel, sorry. And I mean, it's doing its thing, and it's rated for the power that I have the car, so no complaints. Obviously, can't go wrong with competition clutch. I'm running SPA fans on single, same slim SPA fans, 1,200 to 1,300 CSF amps on both. That's something that I definitely don't cheap out on. They both have their own relay system, single relay system for the fan that works in conjunction with the stock fuse and relay with K-Pro. Same on this one. Fuel pressure regulator. It's a big thing. I had a budget one in there. I've seen people that have success and they work about 40 bucks. Luckily, it didn't leave me stranded, but it was leaking. So I opted for a K20 one. Obviously, you've got a K20 one here. That's a little bit newer model than this one. This is more of a AEM style, but it's nonetheless it's K20. So no issues there. Lines, I made it myself, so those are questionable depending on where you get the materials and quality of fittings. And also, sorry, I keep hitting the mic. That's pretty much it on the fuel pump. I am running a AEM, so can't go wrong with AEM. It has a Yanonka 2.5-inch catback exhaust. Here is a Gosnell eBay. I think this was about 400 and something. Less than 170 bucks, I want to say, or about 170 bucks. So 3-inch, 2.5. And yeah, we got a 1320 performance header. Not sure if they're 4-to-1 or what they are, but they're doing really good. Don't like this end style of connection, but back then when I got them, they're about 250. Now they're kind of hard to sort out or find. Here we got K20 budget, so you guys can see they're very different. So yeah, maybe that's what took away some of my power. Who knows? But they're budget, and no complaints in there as well. Look at these fatties. See? Yeah, I don't know. Those are pretty good. So yeah, I think this was about 300, 350. I say 300, 350 around there, maybe 200. That was from $200 to $300. That's what I know. Keaton budget, 1320 performance. Back then was 250. Now they're going for a lot more. I'm not sure how much more, but I know they went up in price. And super winded trying to recite and remember all the stuff that I have on. But other than that, I've had very little to zero issues with this build, with the parts, and them holding really well. I forgot to talk about the axles. So on the axles, obviously we have insane shaft, 32 millimeter. Here it's a little iffy. We have, for the passenger side, a refresh insane shaft, 32 millimeter, and then we have a OEM from O'Reilly's driver side. And so far, it's been holding and doing its thing. The intermediate shaft is actually a budget one from Amazon. I think it was like 50 bucks. Here we have an RSX Type S OEM used. It was used when I got an intermediate shaft. So yeah, but like I was saying, with this car, I've had really zero to no issues with the performance and parts holding, braking, and stuff like that. This one, I've had a couple run-ins with my fuel pressure regulator twice. I bought two cheap ones to keep it budget. They both did not work, so I opted for a K20 one. What else? Throttle body. Well, not throttle body, I want to say, but the TPS. It's on the cheap side, the Dorman one. It's also been questionable, but it was like less than 40 bucks. I think it was like, at the time, it was like 38 or 20 something. This one's also questionable, but it's a Blocks Racing, so it does have a little bit more of a brand and weight to it. But so far, zero issues with this one. But I've had issues with one that I bought to put on this one, so it's questionable as well. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, kind of pay for what you get in a nutshell, to be honest. So it was like, this had no issues. Everything worked first time, and at the out the box, I want to say, no issues. That one, a little bit more elbow grease, more of the cussing going on, and finessing, and just like getting it to work. Like the engine mounts, obviously incomplete hardware set, and this one, everything was bolts. They were pretty much, you had your bolts, no issues in there. So yeah, and then I am running heater. That's not a big thing, but I did buy K20 universal hoses, and you really don't need them as long as you can reuse the stock ones. And that's what I did with the Integra. I just reuse stock combination from the car and then the donor engine as well. So yeah, overall, it's what your wallet can handle and what budget you have for a setup, but it is doable. This one, 10k more, that one about 8k or so. So it is about 2-3 with gap of difference in spending, but also the engine dictates what engine you go with. But it's possible, and you can go cheaper, because if you get a non-performance K series engine, your build could be way cheaper. And obviously ECUs as well. Running Type S 6-speed, because I have a 6-speed, and then I have a RSX automatic that I have converted to work with, because they work with K-Pro, but you have to do a couple things with the VSS for it to work with the cluster. But it's a budget option, more friendly. But you have way cheaper options out there that you can opt for as well. So I think it's the immobilizer with the flash, I believe. By keeping the immobilizer and the key, and you could, it's like a cheaper way. I haven't really dived into it. I'm okay with just having that K-Pro, just easier. But yeah, this is pretty much what I can remember. Just comparing a non-budget, you know, setup, just kind of, you know, like you're buying name brand stuff versus a, you know, I'm buying budget and seeing how it works. But overall, they both work really great. No issues. It's just whatever, you know, you can muster. This 0 headaches, you know, 0 to none cursing. Here a little bit more headache, more worried. But if you know what you're doing and you have the tolerance and the patience, you can make it work. So, and save yourself a little bit more money. So yeah, guys, that's gonna conclude the video. It's just me pretty much comparing, in my opinion, both of my builds on a budget type, you know, a little bit more budget friendly, cheap parts versus a non-budget friendly, not cheap parts here. But yeah, guys, that's gonna conclude the video. If I forgot something, leave it down below. Ask me any questions. Everybody will chime in or try to chime in to help each other. If you have any questions on, you know, differences, and keep coming back for more K20 later content. All right, talking about the axles. So on the axles and intermediate section, I am running a insane shaft secondhand, but I re-serviced it with grease on the driver's side. Long story short, I bought these from Right Hand Drive Cav a long time ago. So, you know, they were used. Went to get an alignment. The driver's side, when I had it on the EG, I think they did the outer tie rod wrong, and ended up breaking my snapping my axle. Well, the outer the outboard of it. I should have kept it, but I didn't know at the time, so I threw everything away. But I could have kept the shaft because it's the correct length, and it's obviously rated for this power, for 500 horsepower. So intermediate shaft, we have an Amazon special, 50 bucks, about 55 bucks, and it's been doing its thing. For the driver's side, we have an O'Reilly special. It's an RSX base driver's side axle. So, you know, I think it was like 80 bucks or something, about 80 bucks. These cost me 140 to use, but obviously I've had them for a while. But what I've seen people do, they swapped, I think it's the inboards, but still, I still feel like it's questionable because you miss length here, the correct length for it, and you know, if you do a lot of turns, it could pop out of your intermediate shaft. So what I've seen people do, it's they get an 08 Civic, but yeah, Civic, it's like from 2006 to 2008, I believe, or 10, base Civic that comes with the 1.8, and the driver's side, I mean passenger, is the correct length. The only problem is if you're running ABS, it does not have the teeth in the front, so that's the only problem. But it's the correct length shaft. So I guess if you change the outboard, it could, you know, to run ABS, or you know, it could work. So, but yeah, that's the correct length that I've seen from doing research if you want to keep it under budget, and it's 32 millimeters as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it on the axles as well. No complaints, you know, as long as you're not beating it, and obviously I'm not boosting, so that probably would have changed a little bit of the power outcome also on that one, not this one on the passenger side. So closing out the video, it's your choice at the end of the day, your budget, your wallet, on how you want to build your cars. Obviously the EG, it is a more branded, parts oriented build, and I've really had no issues with the build. You know, a lot of the parts have hold and have not given me no issues. Easy installation, hardware is there, quality is there, and peace of mind as well. On, you know, unlike the budget where a lot of it was missing hardware, a lot of it's, you know, elbow grease, or you have to finesse a little bit of the stuff in order for it to work. Keep in mind, it's a big saving difference, but also holding as well. This build has been 7+ years And then this has only been what I think I've had this car less than 2 years, and I already had issues with the fuel pressure regulator and the throttle body so far that I've had. Throttle body works, it's just when you get to a light or something, it idles a little bit high, and then it takes a little bit longer to lower for the RPMs to drop, or it just stays idling kind of high. Other than that, it drives nice. You know, when you're driving, I have no issues. But you know, it's a hit and miss with any aftermarket budget parts. You know, you might get lucky or you might not. But I know if you spend the penny, save your money, and you know, buy it, you know, at Black Fridays or in specials, you're not gonna have no issues. Other than that, you know, that's why I did a budget build to save money, but at the same time to compare them. And I cannot sustain another really expensive build. So you know, it's not too bad. I mean, drives did amazing in this, but up to you. So I'm gonna conclude. This is gonna conclude the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Keep coming back for more K20 later content.